Picture this: a warm summer evening at a small town fair. The smell of cotton candy and popcorn fills the air. Carnival music echoes through the grounds, and children's laughter mingles with the mechanical whir of rides. But something sinister lurks beneath this cheerful facade. It all started when a group of teenagers found an old book in the town's abandoned library. You know how these stories go. They just couldn't resist reading that mysterious Latin incantation out loud. What could possibly go wrong, right? Well, everything. As the sun set on the fair's opening night, a shadow began to creep through the crowd. At first, people thought it was just part of the haunted house attraction. The dark figure, moving like smoke between the carnival stands, seemed almost theatrical. But this was no hired performer. The demon, awakened from its centuries-old slumber, was drawn to the concentration of joy and life at the fair. It moved methodically, booth by booth, ride by ride. With each touch, each whispered promise, it collected souls like a child collecting carnival prizes. The victims didn't scream or run, they simply stopped. Their eyes went dull, their smiles frozen, as their souls were gently pulled away like cotton candy being spun. Hour by hour, the fair grew quieter. The Ferris wheel still turned, but its seats held empty-eyed passengers. The carousel played its cheerful tune to riders who no longer laughed. Even the carnival workers stood like mannequins at their posts, their souls added to the demon's growing collection. But in the heart of the fair, near the ring toss booth, stood the last group. 5 teenagers who had spent the evening avoiding the main crowds, sharing their own private jokes and dreams. They were the ones who had found that book, and now they watched in horror as their summer paradise turned into a nightmare. But these kids weren't just any teenagers. They had something the demon didn't expect: guilt-driven determination and a desperate need to make things right. Armed with the very book that started this mess, they formed a circle. The demon approached, confident in its power, expecting 5 more easy souls for its collection. Instead, it found resistance. The teenagers, voices shaking but strong, began reciting the reversal spell they'd frantically searched for earlier. The demon's smoky form began to waver, its collected souls starting to break free like fireflies escaping a jar. One by one, the souls returned to their owners. The fair slowly came back to life, confused people blinking as if waking from a dream, the sound of real laughter returning to the air. And as the last soul broke free, the demon dissolved into nothing more than a dark memory, leaving behind only a scorch mark on the fairground dirt, and 5 teenagers who would never again read strange Latin phrases out loud. The fair continued that summer, brighter and more alive than ever. But if you look closely, you might notice those 5 teenagers still hanging around, keeping watch, making sure that some stories remain just stories.